Charles, again, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us. Before we get started, I just wanted to get a little bit of background about you. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'll be 50 this year. I did 22 years active duty. I spent my first 6 years in the Marines. I spent my last 16 in the Army. I got a couple of tours over to the Middle East, Bosnia, was stationed in Korea, Cuba, Japan. So my last duty station was actually at Fort McCoy training National Guard and Reservists, and that's actually how I ended up here. I did what they call ACRC, active component, working with reserve component. And I got hired on here as the assistant CVSO in 2014, and then I took over as the County Veteran Service Officer in 2015. So been here a while.
Well, you've been there a while, so that's good. So that definitely leads me into my next question. Tell us a little bit about Monroe County and the veterans that you serve there.
So Monroe County is lucky enough to have, we not only do we have the Toma VA within our area of operations, we also have Fort McCoy, part of Camp Douglas. So we have quite a few retirees as well. They come out here, a lot of National Guard reserves. We have the 107 maintenances here, which is National Guard. Then we have a lot of reserve component units out there on Fort McCoy. We have the regional reserve regional commands are right there on Fort McCoy. So a lot of veterans here. Per VA stats, it's about, I want to say about 6,000 veterans that live in our county. However, with Fort McCoy and with the Toma VA and the amount of people that transition through here veterans wise, my guess is we're probably up to about 9,800, 10,000 that, with everything.
You guys are servicing a lot of people, and definitely a lot of people. So here's my next question. With you serving, or with there being so many different reservist units and things of that nature, are you all only service veterans, or do you guys see your fair share of active duty members as well?
So because Fort McCoy is here, we do see active component and AGR. And the reason is so prior to somebody that's on active duty, if they can file their claim within 180 days prior to getting off of active duty, it's what we call a BDD, a benefits delivery at discharge claim. They can actually file a claim before they even get off of active duty. And that way, usually within 3 months, they're at least having something there to decide that. And we've helped some active component individuals or people that were AGR with issues with we had one where there was a family member and they had to get transported back and forth because of a rare condition that their child had. We were actually able to provide them some meal cards or gas cards because it was taken on. So I can honestly say we work with active component, National Guard, reserves, AGR, everybody here, it seems like.
So what would you say are some of the unique challenges that your veterans face out of your county?
I think one of the biggest things as always is, making sure they get the services that are necessary for them at the Toma VA, because not only are they busy, but they're a busy hospital, but they're not just seeing people from Monroe County, they're seeing people from all over the state because they have a huge PTSD program and substance abuse program for MST and whatnot. And the other thing for veterans here is employability, trying to make sure we can get them into jobs that they feel that they're suitable for and that will accommodate for some of their issues with mental health issues or, diabetes or whatever, depending on what area they're
from. Okay. With you having the numbers that you guys have out of your county, what era of veteran do you see that you're seeing more of?
I want to say it's 50-50 between Vietnam veterans and global war on terrorism veterans.
Okay.
It's kind of funny because our Vietnam veterans were not really coming in here, but we've tried to do a big push to make sure that they understood what benefits are out there for them. And I think that helps us with our global war on terrorism veterans because they're sharing what we've done for them in here. And then we'll have Vietnam veterans that come in here and then they'll go out there and share and say, hey, these guys actually do want to help you with benefits, and it's not that typical political rigmarole, because we're not Department of Veteran Affairs employees. We're county employees.
Right.
72 counties. Every county has a county veteran service officer.
We were speaking with Steve Young, and he was telling us how instrumental you were with helping him to get service connected. And that just warmed my heart. He had asked me a question: how was I doing with being connected with the VA? And I said I wasn't doing too good. I got disapproved. But that brings me to my next question. And one of the things that I wish I had done when I first got out of the military was to make myself more acquainted with my CVSO. How important is it, or how quickly should a service member getting out connect with their CVSO?
I'll be honest with you. 6 months prior to getting out, they should be already making that hook up with their county veteran service officer. The nice thing about Wisconsin too is, we like to say we're 83 strong. Not only do we have our 72 counties CVSOs, but we have 11 tribal veteran service officers. Right. And our TVSOs are instrumental in, help, because there are certain people that, they may not want to deal with the county. They would much rather. So we always tell them, reach out to your TVSO, reach out to your CVSO, within, if you're coming off active duty, you got 180 days or less, reach out to them. We always tell them 180 days to 90 days. Anything under 90 days, you got to come see us as soon as you get back, and we'll start doing your stuff, because we can't do anything for you until you're completely out if you have less than 90 days. But 180 to 90 days out, you should be touching base with that CVSO or that TVSO and having them initiate that benefits delivery and discharge claim, and at least getting you on the right path to say, okay, this is what you're going to need. Because like we always tell people, the burden of proof is on the veteran to prove that their disability was caused, incurred, or aggravated by their active military service, or if they're in the reserves or the Guard. In order for the VA to establish that service connection, they have to have something that shows that that injury was incurred or aggravated while they were in a drilling status, like an LOD, a line of duty.
Yeah, before, like everyone in the military, when you're getting separated, you have so many different people telling you, oh, you got to say this and you got to do this and make sure you say that. So, I tried to do everything, that, I was instructed to do, but still had challenges. So here's my next question. If a veteran is seeking VA benefits or VA assistance, what is the first step you think, other than, like you said, 180 days, 90 days, what is the first step a veteran should take when they're seeking or thinking about seeking VA assistance?
To me, the most important thing is make copy of every one of your medical records you have. Make sure you have those records, because when you submit those claims, that's what they're going to look for. If they're going to look for that. And the other big thing is make sure you're going through the transition assistance programs that the military has to offer. Mm-hmm. I know the Army, they have theirs. From what I hear, the Air Forces doesn't have a great one. I know the Army, they usually do pretty well with they're doing that to the transitioning from or soldier to civilian. They try to help with, and that's becoming bigger and bigger. But I mean, honestly, the big thing is make sure you have a copy of all those records. Make that copy before you're gone and before you give those records up.
Right. If a veteran, how does or is your office able to help a veteran either get a copy of their DD-214, or even if they were dishonorably discharged, are you guys able to help with trying to maybe get that discharge reevaluated or turned around?
So anybody who wants a copy of their military discharge, and as long as there's one there, so there's 2 or 3 ways that we can actually do it in my office. The first one is we go to VBATS, which is a Wisconsin state system. If they're a veteran that enlisted or commissioned out of the state of Wisconsin, when they get out of the military, usually that DD-214 is submitted to the Wisconsin Department of Veteran Affairs, and they'll have a copy. If we can't find a copy of that there, then we go through what we call NPRC, which is the National Personnel Records Center out of St. Louis, Wisconsin, or St. Louis, Missouri. that can actually be reached at www.archives.gov. And you can actually request your own DD-214 medical records, service treatment records, your entire enlisted record book or officer's record book. You can actually request that through there to include a copy of your medal or award. As far as upgrading DD-214s, I have successfully helped people upgrade their DD-214s out of this office. We know the forms that we're supposed to use. So we'll submit them to whatever branch of service that they're from. But it can be done, and we will assist with that. The big thing for people to understand is like the combat veterans who were dishonorably discharged because of drugs or stuff like that, they suffer from PTSD or stuff like that. The military is really doing a relook at that. And the other big one is people who were put out of the military because of their sexual orientation. That's another big one that the VA is relooking at, because a lot of them were dishonorably discharged or BCD because of that. And now the military is like, oh yeah, that was not the right thing. If you served, it doesn't matter what your orientation was, and you know, we're gonna try to make it right, I guess is the word I would use.
One of the things that we have been finding out, and again, a lot of different CVSO officers throughout the different counties, is the fact that some of the younger veterans that are on social media and that kind of thing, they're being able to be reached through those kind of channels. But some of the Vietnam veterans, some of the older veterans that are not necessarily technology savvy, wouldn't necessarily be able to be reached through a social media outlet. What are some of the ways that your office is using to get in contact with veterans that might not be using the internet and that kind of thing? Like I said, I know Steve is doing, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's doing newspaper. He might have mentioned that you were doing radio spots.
Yeah, we've gotten out on the radio, and we can do what we call PSAs on there.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll schedule announcements where we do the like, especially when there's huge changes with it, we'll go to the newspaper, and our newspaper here is just phenomenal when it comes to veterans issues. They'll actually put articles in there for me. The other thing I do is I meet with my I have what we call a Veterans Service Commission. And so I have 3 people that are on that commission. One of them's from Tomo, one of them's from Sparta, and one's from Kendall. And what we try to do is reach out to them about different issues that are going on. And they actually then will reach out to the people that come to their VFW, their American Legion. We also we'll put on a job fair here. And when we do those kind of things, it's an opportunity for us to reach out to veterans that don't know what's going on. We try to participate in as many veterans events that we can in our area. We'll go out to the Toma VA. We just hosted a Vietnam Veterans Day celebration here. A lot of people don't realize that Vietnam Veterans Day is now a national holiday, that we do that. So as we actually did a big thing where we recognized our Vietnam veterans, and one of those things we do that gives us the opportunity to network with our Vietnam veterans or whatnot. So, I mean, word of mouth is huge for us here.
What has your veteran, or what has been really the consensus of the veterans that you have seen in your office when it comes to COVID vaccination?
Most of them have been pretty acceptable. We've had a lot of people that came in here and said, "Hey, where can I get the vaccination?" They want the vaccination. There was a lot of confusion with the VA because the VA initially said, "Oh, if you're a veteran, we're going to do that." Well, what they failed to mention was that you had to be enrolled in VA healthcare and all this stuff. And they're like, "Well, I'm a veteran. I'm automatically." Nope, because the only way to get enrolled in VA healthcare is either be service connected or be below the poverty level. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. So we were able to actually start helping them out. And if they couldn't get it from the VA, we were actually able to hook them up with our local, our nursing, our public health that we have for our county, which was wonderful. So it's kind of nice because they're like, "Well, where can I get it? Where can my wife get it?" And now the VA is actually offering it to spouses, caregivers, and things like that, which is, so we try to get them enrolled in whatever we can.
How often do you connect with other county veteran service officers across the state of Wisconsin? And how important is that warm handoff or that connection between each of you all?
It's huge. So at least every 6 months we'll do a spring conference, we do a fall conference for our county veteran service officers. And we have to do that to maintain our accreditation anyway with the places here. You have to have your CEUs in order to maintain that accreditation. Most regions, we have regional meetings where we'll sit there and link up with each other, and we'll hook up, we'll do all that kind of stuff. So we can talk about what's going on in our regions and also possibly what's going on in other regions. And then a lot of times it's, I talk to a guy from Green Bay all the time who is, he's in, Ozaukee County, I think is right from. His name's Kevin Johnson. Well, he's also an attorney. He was a Army officer, and he's an attorney, but he's also a CVSO. And if I have a question, we'll reach out to him and say, okay, what's the legal ramifications of this? So, we have people that are licensed therapists or psychologists in this. So it's amazing. I'm trying to figure out how to put it. The diversity that's within our organization, I guess. And so it's pretty nice. And, everybody's got a different intake. And, if you find something that works for you, you want to make sure that you share it. We have a forum, our CVSO forum, where we can share different ideas, or hey, I have a veteran story that something happened. This is how we resolved it, or this is what the VA is doing now. How do we fix it? Things like that.
I see that certain offices have larger staffs, certain offices have smaller staffs. I guess the next question that I have, as far as your office is concerned, other than you, who else do you all have in your office?
So right now I have a office manager, Mandy. She's phenomenal. And then I have a Nicholas. He's in here. He's my assistant CVSO. But unfortunately, he's not in the office, and he's not going to be here for a while. So, it gets pretty busy around here sometimes. I'm actually booked out to almost September already.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? With appointments?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
and not only do we help, and that's what a lot of people don't understand, that CVSOs is not just for like helping file claims with the VA. We help file claims for educational benefits for spouses, kids, the veterans. We help with burial markers, burial benefits. So you name it, if it has anything to do with veterans, we usually, that's what we do. And that's what every CVSO office in our great state knows.
Well, the last question that I have is, how would a veteran in your region or in your county, if they wanted to get in contact with you, how should they get in contact with you?
The best way is to call us at 608-269-8618. And they'll speak with Mandy, who, like I said, she's our office manager, and she'll get them on our schedule one way or another. That is the easiest and quickest way, and it's probably going to be the fastest way to get a response.
Well, I want to say thank you for taking the time and speaking with us. And thank you for all of that great information you were able to provide. You have a great day, sir.
You too. I appreciate it, Victor.
Thank you.